Hello, the screen. Can you hear me? It went dead again. Can you hear me? Am I live?
You're live.
Welcome, everybody. We're here at Florida Closing and Escrow and BOW, Brokers, Opens, and Tours Worldwide. Thank you for joining us. Today, we're going to give some market updates and also speak about millennials and also FERPTA updates. So, first of all, we're at Florida Closing and Escrow and Brokers, Opens, and Tours Worldwide. Florida Closing and Escrow is the only title company located in Sunny Isles. We're digital, wireless, remote, mobile, and multilingual. Our managing partner, John Iowanu, and the other attorney is Anthony Bauza, who will also be presenting today. So first, I'm going to start with some market updates. The hot trend of the exodus to Miami continues. There were 10,000 people that migrated to Miami this quarter alone, or 900 a day. In 2022, Florida saw the biggest rush of new residents migrating from New York, New Jersey, Illinois, and California. NAR reported that 319,000 Americans are making the move to Florida. It's the highest percent in the history, and it has increased by 2%, which is well above the 0.4% national growth rate recorded in the U.S. between July 21st and July of 21 and to 22. 44 million Americans of prime home buying age, which is 26 to 35, are a good target. They're the millennials. We suggest targeting them with mixed media. They are skimmers. They like concise information across many platforms, such as short videos, social media, digital footprint, and they like the latest technology, including Instagram Reels. They like creativity, they like value, they like people that are real and trustworthy. They don't like just to be sold. Many millennials are coming to Miami. It's the 5th most important real estate market for the world's wealthiest after London, New York, LA, and Hong Kong. And a lot of that has to do with the great weather, the business opportunities, the tax advantages, and this was based on people buying in the 10 million plus range. Miami's the 5th most important market and also has great fiscal health. It's the best it's ever been. It has $200 billion in reserves, and it's never had such a high ratio of debt to reserves before. And one of the things you want to do to target the millennials is build confidence. And 1/3 of the homes available for sale are now new homes. So that's a good thing to broadcast to the millennials. In fact, 47% of people start their searches for homes online. 96% use online tools. So you want to have a strong digital marketing presence on social media. One of the tools I could recommend is to do digital campaigns, automated targeting markets of your choice. You can target New York, you could target the Northeast, you can target anything nationwide and also globally. If you want to target Dubai, for instance, Mexico, South America. And now I'm going to have Anthony speak and give some updates of if millennials are buying and what if they're foreign national. And he also is going to talk about FERPTA updates. Thank you. Anthony Bauza, Welcome.
Okay, so just to tack on to what Cindy was saying, millennials are buying more expensive homes than any other age group. We're seeing this trend actually, the data is showing there's a gap. Basically, the median home price on average is 415, whereas a millennial home buyer that age group is 425. So if we measure this gap across the country, the South Florida market is actually 14th on that list for that gap. It's a 2.4% gap. Other areas, and they're usually large metropolitan areas such as South Florida, have a 3.1% gap with, for example, in Chicago, a 3.4% in the, this is North Carolina metropolitan area. So we're seeing that same age gap, that same median gap in median purchase price for the South Florida market. This is a good idea to then target millennials as home buyers. And the millennial age range, spans quite a large, I believe it's almost a decade and a half age gap. So even older millennials are a target because they usually have property, they have equity built in, so they're looking either to move on or take that equity, cash it out, and move into a bigger home. Younger millennials are now of the age where they're starting families, looking for a larger home. For example, now with the work from home, which is much more prevalent, looking for properties that have spaces for that as well.
The age range?
I believe the actual, I don't know the exact, but I believe the actual is
26 to 35.
26 to 35. Okay, so I think 85 to 95, I think, would be the age group. And basically it comes down to a simple mathematical decision. Right now with rents being what they are, it kind of is easier to just go ahead and pay a mortgage. Sometimes it's even cheaper than what a rent would be. So, at that point, it's kind of an easy decision. I could just keep renting and the money's going to my landlord's pocket, or I could put that money into something that's going to be mine eventually, and it's going to be less sometimes than even rent. So definitely the millennial market, I think, is one now that agents should be focused on. That being said, the other topic that I wanted to briefly discuss is FIRPTA. It's relevant here in South Florida. We have lots of foreign sellers. FIRPTA is the requirement to withhold tax from the sale of properties by a foreign seller. This is a 15% retention of any sale proceeds for a seller who is a foreigner. There are some exemptions to that. Some exemptions, for example, are if the buyer has intent to reside on that property for at least 6 months out of the year for the first 2 years, they can sign an affidavit stating that. And then in that case, depending on the value of the sale, FIRPTA could either be reduced down from 15% to 10% or down to 0 altogether. And that's based on purchase price. So a sale price of $300,000 or less, if a buyer is going to reside on that property and signs an affidavit stating so, FIRPTA will be completely eliminated. So a seller will not have to retain funds. They still always have the obligation to pay taxes, but that requirement to hold the taxes at the time of sale is eliminated. If the sale price is from $300,000 to $1 million, and the buyer signs that affidavit, you reduce withholding from 15% to 10%. Anything over $1 million, you're always going to have withholding of 15%. So there's no way to get out of that one. That doesn't mean there isn't another way. There are some other ways. For example, if the foreigner is the owner of an LLC and that LLC has multiple members, a multi-member LLC is recognized by the IRS as a partnership. So they are registered as a U.S. entity, a U.S. partnership. Therefore, they're not considered foreigners. So the automatic retention is not required because it's presumed that business will file their partnership tax returns to report that sale. Also, any LLC or other entity that chooses to be taxed as a corporation, that's an election you can make to the IRS, where it says, hey, I'm either a single member LLC, or I'm the only one, or I'm a multi-member LLC, but I want to be taxed as a corporation. You file the paperwork, you let the IRS know. Now they know who you are, so you don't have to have that automatic retention at the time of sale, and you could avoid the FERPTA withholding. So that's about it. That's the updates I wanted to give, and just briefly on FERPTA. And now back to Cindy.
And we can help you also with marketing. We have a special for $192 for the year or $40 a month across many platforms, including Google, Facebook, Facebook Messenger, and Instagram, to set up creative campaigns to targeted markets of your choice. So you could contact me about that. And I'm sorry today there was a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are here to assist you from contract to closing, Florida closing and escrow. Thank you, Anthony Bauza, for your excellent presentation. And John Iowano will do the next presentation. He's the owner, and he also has been voted in top 50 attorneys in America. We do have an expert team. We're happy to help you with contract draft, review, addendums, and increase your closing success. So if you have any questions, you can reach us at 1-800-FL-CLOSE. You can reach me at 786-457-6832. Thank you for joining us today.